What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking about Lego Fortnite. A couple updates coming out. Lego Fortnite Odyssey is coming out, and then we also have a Lego, it's called Brick Life, Fortnite Brick Life. We'll talk about these two things today on the show, and we're also going to talk about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League has its fourth and final season, but the game is not shutting down. It is still continuing after the season 4s. They're adding a finally most requested offline mode. But the game will continue. It will not be delisting or shutting down. You can still buy the game, and we'll talk about that as well. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Water Bear? What's going on, Jason? Mo, good morning. Eclipse, good morning. How's everyone doing? Gotta fix my camera just gotta put that down just a smidgen. Only took, what, 11 months? Less than that, right? Because it came out in, I guess, in February. Yeah, so I guess 11 months, right? So I was watching one of my videos that I put out 21 months ago when they first showed it, and then they delayed it a year. And I had a video, and I talked about how, you know, it could last 3 years. I said it could last 3 to 5 years, or it could last 1 to 2 years. And it all depends if it was doing well or not, if it sold well. And that was 21 months before the game even, 21 months from now. But that was, what, 12 months before, or 10 months before it launched. It was 10 months before it launched. And it didn't do well, right? I enjoyed the game. I don't go back on anything I said. I enjoyed the game, the story mission. I played the game, put the game down. We went back and played the first expansion with Joker. Haven't touched the last 2 seasons. And now Deathstroke comes in, and I don't think I'll go back. Maybe I will if I have time. But there's other games I'm playing. We've already moved on. But the game itself will continue on. So the people that were in my comment section saying after season 4 the game will shut down, that's incorrect. It'll continue on for, I would say, another 6 months. I'll say 8 months to a year. So it'll hit my 2-year mark of being out for 2 years before they shut it down, before they say we're done. And the reason for this is I believe that Suicide Squad is still going to be there. They're still going to make money off of it if it's game sales, if it's microtransactions, and then plus the DC Universe movies come out. When those start coming out, people might jump back in just because it's those easy sales of people are hyped up for a DC movie or whatnot. So, Water Bear says, I know 30's excited for Suicide Squad. I'll tell you what, Water Bear, I'm playing Marvel Rivals. I'm playing Fallout 76. I might pick up Path of Exile 2. I don't know if I am because I'm playing Marvel Rivals. I'm playing Brighter Shores. I'm waiting to see if Transformers comes out next year. So there's plenty of stuff for me to play. I don't need to play Suicide Squad. Like I said, I played it for the story. I got my story elements out of it. So we'll see what happens. Travis says 30. It copied Avengers and failed. So now copied Marvels and give us DC frenemies. What's going on, Argus? Eclipse says, well, it has offline mode now, so it'll play whenever I want. That should have been in the game from the very start, right? Because 9 months ago, 10 months ago, we talked about, at least on this channel, their server issues were terrible for the game. Right? They needed to fix that, and it took them way too long. What's going on, Haley? Hilly says, I've 4 hours in Path of Exile. Only picked it up yesterday. It's fantastic. Path of Exile or Path of Exile 2? Hilly. Travis says, there is no Transformers. Abandon hope. I'll enter here. Travis, it's coming out. It's coming out. Kylo says, fly high, Suicide Squad. Fly high. Yeah. So let's talk about Suicide Squad first. All right, let's talk about Suicide Squad first. They have their monthly, seasonal, whatever it is, This game, I have plenty of videos on this. I said they should not go the way, and I compared it to two games specifically, which was Anthem and Marvel Rivals. Okay, or not Marvel Rivals. Sorry, Marvel's Avengers, not Marvel Rivals. Sorry, I have Marvel Rivals on the brain. Right, I compared it to two games, Anthem and Marvel's Avengers. I said that was the business model of Suicide Squad. Okay, and it did exactly the same exact thing as those two games did. They didn't have Endgame, right? Suicide Squad showed us and said, hey, here's all the stuff. But then they made one fatal flaw, which is everything that came after for the Endgame is the exact same thing that was in the Endgame already. Okay? And that was a major issue for Rocksteady and for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Okay? They had the upside down triangle when they first showed it to us, right? They showed us that, hey, we didn't make the same mistakes as Anthem. We didn't make the same mistakes as Marvel's Avengers. We actually have Endgame in our game when it came out, and people were, like, excited about it. But then the Endgame was the same as the regular game, and then the second Endgame that came out was the same as the first Endgame, which was the same as the regular Endgame. And the third season pass came out, or the third season came out, and that end game was the same as the first, which is the same as the second, which is the same as the original. And here we are with season 4. And guess what? Guess what, chat? I guarantee you it's going to be the exact same as the other 3 seasons and the original game that came out before it. Okay. Now, one of the other things that about this game, okay, I said that it would have 6 seasons. And the reason I said it would have 6 seasons is because of the Brainiac lineup, the roadmap, I guess you would say. Now, obviously, I haven't tuned in to season 3 or 4, so I don't know how many Brainiacs came in last season and how many Brainiacs came in this season. But I did have videos saying that they have to put them in because they already showed him in the game. I did say they have to give a minimum of 4 seasons because it said in the small print that we covered that they have to have 4 seasons. Okay, so they have to keep it for at least 1 year, which is the 4 seasons. If they throw in just the last second, like the rest of the Brainiacs, then I guess cool. But if they show us 13 Brainiacs, and right now we have it was 2, was it not 2 in the beginning? And then it was season 2. That's 4, 6, 8. We're missing a few. Okay, we're missing a few Brainiac fights. Now I don't know what they're going to do with that. They said there's done supporting the game after this, but let's read on. Okay. Oh, wrong channel. There it is. Season 4 deep dive, right? Season 4 deep dive. It's time to sharpen your swords as Season 4, Episode 7 Control is almost upon us, with Deathstroke joining the Suicide Squad as a new playable character offline mode functionality and a new Elseworld to explore, and plenty of gear to discover. Let's take a closer look at Season 4 has to offer. Now, Season 4, Episode 7 and 8, right, will be coming out. So, we've talked about this offline mode coming out to the game, and then we're also pleased to make the option available to part of Season 4, Episode 7, releases on December 10th, which is right now. Okay, offline mode would allow you to experience the content released for the game, including the main story campaign and all seasonal story mission content without the internet connection to access offline mode. And you can either create a new profile by starting from the beginning of the game or create a copy of the existing online profile, allowing you to jump in all on your progress. All on purchase cosmetics will also be available in offline mode. For more details, click here. Okay, Deathstroke, those few who meet him live to talk about it and might recognize the newest playable character, Deathstroke, available on December 10th when Season 4, Episode 7 releases, also known as Slade Wilson. Deathstroke is also a cold-blooded mercenary, is one of the world's deadliest assassins and tactical genius, armed with unparalleled swordsmanship and a few extra toys thanks to the deal with Argus. The Deathstroke is also a one-man army with a single objective: put the end of Brainiac's invasion once and for all. Okay, now there was a leak, a rumor about Batman coming back in during this season, so we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, none of us will tell. We're going to have to hear it from other sources because none of us are playing it, I don't think. Okay, final season with Deathstroke joining the roster. Suicide Squad crusade against Brainiac is drawing to an end, and Season 4 will finish up with Episode 8, which is scheduled to release on January 2025, and that will serve as the last seasonal episode for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. While Season 4, Episode 8 will mark the final battle against Brainiac, all online features will continue to be available, so you'll also still be able to enjoy the co-op with friends, as well as all previous seasonal episodic content. You'll also have the option to play the game via new offline mode, which allows access to the main story campaign and all post-launch seasonal gameplay content without the internet connection. For details, you can visit there. Now, the Masked Mercenary, after his last showdown, his defeat against Batman, Slade Wilson, world's greatest assassin, was lost. He was also stuck with Arkham Asylum, surrounded by common criminals with all the time in the world and nothing to do but confront his failures. Faced with the long list of demons to overcome, Wilson quietly disappeared to train and meditate. After months of work, Deathstroke realized that he had nothing to prove, but he still has Brainiac to invade Earth. So, when Amanda Waller approaches him with the blank check and a cut of invasion off, the Deathstroke didn't need to ask twice. To take down the target like Brainiac, Deathstroke is bringing some serious gear, starting with his own trusty sword, with the host of talents and emphasized with the close-range, melee-focused style to play. Deathstroke is also close-quarter menace, capable of turning into a little purple chunks into blink of an eye for combat against the metahumans also of this level. Speed is essential. He's also state-of-the-art icon suit, just the tool for the job, with combined with his also a Kunana grapple. Kunana grapple. That's also primary traversal abilities Deathstroke throws out. Okay, he pulls himself forward, ability able to build up tremendous speed and Isn't that what who else does that? Isn't that you can do that with Harley Quinn, right? You can like pull. Oh, actually, no. Batman had that when you can pull and then pull yourself forward but pinpoint accuracy, a secondary traversal. I'm thinking of Gotham Knights, basically, is what I'm thinking of. Okay. He also has the Icon Dash, which allows immediate bursts of speed using gravity tech in his Icon suit. Deathstroke is able to air dash a short distance in the direction. This combination of traversal abilities make the character who may not have the vertical capabilities of Deadshot or Lawless, but also has then they can also make it up with the kind of aerial speed control, and it only comes in decades of training. Finally, the traversal attack. He's got a burst unleashes a barrage of blades flying at nearby enemies, leaving them wondering whether or not is a result of advanced tech of superhuman skills, right up until the moment that they become Deathstroke's latest victim. Being a master strategist, swordsman, and sharpshooter, Deathstroke can also tackle the engagements with any number of ways, and this reflects in the three play styles of the talents Assassin, Mercenary, and Strategist. Assassin turns Deathstroke into an ultimate duelist, attempting up the power of his melee strikes, shield harvesting, and Suicide Squad's blood splatter talent cause melee kills to make all nearby enemies bleed, losing a percentage of their health over time, while the sowing distant gives all the melee hits a 50% chance to craze enemies. The combo of Deathstroke's incredibly agile style, traversal, and also dodging in out of groups of enemies, leaving them isolated to confuse before the move onto your next target. The mercenary powers of Deathstroke, firearms, grenades, and traversal attacks also point out could give Deadshot a run for his money. Muscle memory increases your critical hit damage by 50% and makes critical kills instantly reload a firearm, so after a little synergizing with the rest of the loadout, once the bullets start coming, they won't stop. Air power causes airborne kills and generates 10% traversal attack resources, so if you can also manage to stay up in the sky, you'll also be sure to put the enemies in the dirt. The strategist is also about afflicting the weakening your enemies, softening them up before they go for the kill. Biowarfare causes critical kills afflicted enemies to spread affliction and also nearby enemies. While electric shock empowers your shotguns with electrified shells after critical reload, strategist also improves the fluidity of the combat with the talents like instantly fun, one smooth motion that also can cause instantly reload the ground bouncing and ground sliding. These playstyles alongside his firearms, which choose the assault rifle, shotgun, and sniper rifles, make Deathstroke a true one-man army at close and long range. When Season 4, Episode 7 releases in December 10th, you can play as Deathstroke after completing the Mayhem mission at Episode Rank 30 and taking down Brainiac. Jesus, you gotta grind up to level 30 yet again. You're getting a new area. This season is also putting a feud back in feudal. Is also take a fight to Brainiac in medieval Elseworld, inspired by DC's Dark Knights and Steel Comics book series, written by Tom Taylor with the art. So there you go. In also Dimensions, the squad has chased Brainiac. So far, he has also already taken control of Elseworld and terraformed it into the twisted versions, or the Vision. But something is also different this time. Task Force Esks are catching up to Brainiac's conquest, and it also looks like he's only arrived at the this new Elseworld. This Elseworld is completely reconceived Superman's hometown of Smallville as a medieval village, completely stripped of advanced technology that empowers the modern-day Justice League. While fighting against Brainiac during incursions, you'll also be able to locals of battle against Brainiac, windmills, homes from a complete medieval village, and also the Hall of Justice reimagined as a feudal castle. Okay, that's cool. That's the Hall of Justice back there. While the rest of the squad may not think as much as the Elseworld, preferring jetpacks and explosives to swords and lances, it seems like Deathstroke has been busy making his name for himself in this land of chivalry and swordsmanship. All right, you got some weapons here. We'll just go down and look at the weapons. That looks pretty cool. Too bad, man. Some of the guns look fantastic. Got that one. Al Ghul's Punisher, perfect tool. That's cool. Got some more cosmetics. The Season 4 Battle Pass focus on LexCorp's family outfits. Deathstroke, Harley, Boomerang, and Joker will also have a set of high-tech outfits. Let me tell you, these outfits are terrible compared to Marvel Rivals, right? I mean, they're terrible. Like, what are we doing here? Okay. What are we doing here? All right, so here's some Q&A. Season 4 QA, frequently asked questions. It says, is Season 4 the final post-launch season for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? It says, yes, Season 4 will be the final post-launch season for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Season 4 will begin with the release of Episode 7 on December 10th, and will finish up in Episode 8, which is scheduled to release on January 14th. Episode 8 will serve as the last seasonal episode for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Okay. Will any new content be added to the game after Season 4? Season 4 will also finish up Episode 8, which is also scheduled to release on January 14th, and will serve as the last seasonal episodic content for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Okay. It's also, there will be any balance, updates, fix, or changes to the game after Season 4. Season 4, Episode 8 will be the last seasonal episodic content for the game, but all online features will continue to be available. So players are still able to enjoy the co-op with friends, as well as previous seasonal episodic content. Okay. Will the game still be available to online after Season 4? Yes. All online features will continue to be available after Season 4, so players will still be able to enjoy co-op with friends, as well as the previous seasonal episodic content. Will the game be available to play offline without internet connection? Yes, an offline mode will also be available as part of the Season 4 update, giving players the option to experience the main campaign and seasonal story mission content without the internet connection. A lot of people I know were waiting for the game to have the offline mode, regardless, because they didn't want to play online at all, right? So maybe it gets a couple more sales there at a discounted rate. How long will the game be available to play after Season 4? It says all online features will continue to be available after Season 4, so players will still be able to enjoy the co-op with friends, as well as previous seasonal episodic content. An offline mode will also be available as part of Season 4 update, giving players the option to experience the main campaign and all seasonal story missions content without the internet connection. Will the game still be available for purchase after Season 4? Yes, the game will still be continued to be available for purchase after Season 4. If a player deletes the digital version of the game, can they reinstall it after Season 4? Yes, players who deleted their digital version of their game will be able to reinstall after Season 4. And will remaining Luthor Coin be available after Season 4? Yes, remaining Luthor Coin will continue to be available after Season 4, and the game in-store will continue to be function as it after Season 4. So here's a couple things, right? I made a statement quite a bit ago, and I said that even when the game is done, I said there's going to be 6 seasons. Obviously, there's only 4 seasons. I said that they will continue support for at least 2 years, and I think we're going to get that regardless after Season 4 or not. They're still not supporting it as far as putting new content in, but the game is staying up. You can play it, and that means that it's still supporting the game, okay? Because they could just be like, it's done. We didn't sell enough. But I think they did sell quite a bit. Yes, it was under what they projected. We don't know what the actual projection is. They've never actually told us the sales numbers. If you look at the Steam charts only hit, I think, a max of like 13,000 people, but I think more people play it on console. I think it sold around 2-3 million copies. I said that 9 months ago. I stick with that. I still think it sold about 2 to 3 million. I think it needed to sell 5 to 7 million. I think they keep it out because of the other stuff that's coming out in the DC universe and Marvel's and TV show, not Marvel, sorry, in the TV shows like Marvel, like the TV shows for DC or the movies for DC. I think they keep it going because it's just another form of income coming in. Multiverse is out there. You got Hogwarts Legacy coming out with DLC. I think coming out soon, isn't it? You have Multiverses constantly updating there for WB, and now you have this not being supported, but you can still purchase the game. It's still for sale. They're still putting the last season, the last two episodes 7 and 8 in there up until January, which leads up to February 3rd is when the game came out originally. So leading it back up to that 1 year cycle. And who knows? I said it back in the past. I think they worked out on all the content ahead of time, and they've already have it done. Now stuff kind of got scrapped. Other stuff could be in the background. And if there is some sort of rekindling of the game down the line, if something comes out and people start buying the game again or playing the game again, maybe they just drop in stuff down the line. Who knows? But yeah, this game is done as far as, so it's not concorded. It's not concorded. It's not done being where you can't play anymore. You can still play it. You can play it offline, but it's just not going to have any more season stuff. So basically, it's the exact same thing what you just bought Space Marine 2s for, right? You bought Space Marine 2 up front. All the content's free. You got to wait 12 months for all the content to come out. Once it comes out, then that's the end of the game, right? It's exactly what happened here with Suicide Squad. The only difference is Space Marines 2 sold a shit ton, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League didn't sell a shit ton. But both have the same outcome. At the end of 12 months, all the content is done being made for the game, and then that game is absolutely done, unless they continue support with season passes or whatnot. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Suicide Squad. Are you going to go back at any point in time in the next year, okay, to go back and play Deathstroke or go back and play any of the other characters? Is there just too many things on the actual plate for you to even go back? First impressions are everything. First impressions were pretty bad for this, so it's just going to go away, but it's still being supported. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know in the live chat, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. What's going on, Kraken? Z, Kylo, Altern, good morning. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Papa, good morning. Drummond, what's going on? All right. Travis says 30. Not sure, but know how many children that need a whooping cane in the last season? Fuck you, Lawless. I don't even know. A whooping cane? I don't know, Data, what you're talking about there. Kylo says, I give them credit for at least adding the offline mode. The offline mode was supposed to be at the game at launch, but then they're like, oh. So it came in almost a year later, 10 months later. Makoki says, top of the morning. What's going on, Makoki? I've had 8 hours of sleep in the last 2 days. Path of Exile is ruining me. Oh, that sucks. I mean, good for you, but that sucks when your sleep schedule gets tossed out. Jason says, yay, I get to fight Brainiac again. Wow. They are so creative and hardworking. We talked about this. I said, I hope they don't do what I think they're going to do. Remember when I said that? I said, I don't think they're going to do what I think they're going to do, which was fight the same character over and over. I was like, man, and that was months before the game came out. And then sure enough, it happened. I was just like, oh, boy. Oh, boy. Waterbear says, sorry, not enough room in my PlayStation 5 to re-download it. Level to 30 again, just to play Deathstroke. Nah. I'm good with Path of Exile. Well, you can pay $10. You can pay $10. You don't need to. You can just buy them and start playing them. Yeah, but Kylo, it's not disappearing. It's not like it's going anywhere. Like, you guys are talking about it like it's dying. It's not dying. They're just not making any more content for it. They had an obligation. The obligation was they had to make season 4, okay, which we talked about 9 months ago, that they had to make 4 seasons. Of course the in-game store will work. Of course it will. Altern says they sold more than Concord. I can tell you that, because this lasted almost a year. It's still lasting a year. You see, you guys are talking about it like it's dying. It's not dying. They're just not supporting anymore. Just look at it as a single-player game, right? Single-player game comes out, and then they don't support it. Yes, this is a live service game. They supported it for a year because they had an obligation to do it. But the game is continuing on, meaning you could still play it a year from now, 2 years from now, unless they go, all right, we're shutting down the servers. When they say they're shutting down the servers, even at that point now, because of the offline mode, it's not actually a dead game anymore. It's just a single-player game. They turn their live service game into a single-player game. Hilly says, I saw the game on sale on Steam for $2.99, although that was a great deal price, was too low and made me think it was at the end of its life process. With that keeping its servers up, that's great. Everybody says random, but I found something funny, stupid clickbait, I don't know, about Among Us is now getting a called assassin game because of Green Mario CEO Killer played it. Interesting. Altered says, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League proceeds to kill the same 3 members for 1 year. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They had such promises, and yet they completely screwed it up. Did you finish Suicide Squad? Yeah, we finished the campaign. The whole playthrough is on my stream, on my channel. I enjoyed the single player story content of it. It was the end game content playing over and over and over, and then we couldn't play with anybody. We couldn't play with anybody because the servers were fucked up. So you couldn't play with your friends for like a month. And by the time they fixed it, we already moved on to other things, and we were just like, "Nah, I'm good. We don't need that." Then they showed after Joker, right? After Joker came out, then they did Karen Freeze, right? I forget what her actual name is, Veronica, Victoria, whatever. Karen Freeze came out, then Lawless came out, and now Deathstroke comes out. Jay Shockblast was on the show with us back in the beginning of the year. He said that Deathstroke and Joker should have been a 1-2 punch type of thing at the beginning of this, the beginning front loaded, and then add new characters. And I agreed with them 100%. And here we are, 11 months later, and here's the outcome, right? And Miller was on the show, and he said that it was supposed to be a 3 to 5 year game, but if it doesn't do well, it'll last, about 20 months. And right now, we're at 12. Well, not really. We're at 10, okay? Because January will be 11. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is 11. And then January will be 12, okay? And then it just has to go to this time next year, and then that's it, 20 months. Which, if they shut it down after that, so we'll start maybe hearing reports by January of 2026, the servers might shut down. Okay? Maybe by August we'll hear that they're shutting down in January, which would make it 20 months. Papa says, I'm so fucking glad I got into the beta and noticed a bunch and said, fuck this, I'm buying this game. I'm not buying this game. For what, Suicide Squad? Her name is Karen Freeze. I think it is. Now I can buy the complete version of Suicide Squad for $5. Yeah. And I think you'll have a good time with it, Jones. I think the story, campaign, and stuff like that is a good game. It's a good game. It's not a great game. It's a good game. Waterbear says this sums up Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. 13 Brainiacs. That says everything you need to know about this game. Yeah, for as far as being a looter shooter, it's not the greatest for, Path of Exile 2, you're fighting, 400 different bosses? In Suicide Squad, you're killing the exact same boss 13 times. Just saying it out loud. It's just like, remember in Marvel's Avengers where you're killing you're killing AIM agents over and over, and everyone's like, can we have a new villain? Can we have a new bad guy? And people were complaining about the AIM, right? But Suicide Squad's like, all right, we'll fix it. Not only are you going to fight the same bad guys over and over, but you're going to fight the same boss 13 times. Yeah, it's definitely worth the $5. Do I regret paying full price for it? Of course. But I don't regret it. I didn't pay for it, so I don't regret it. I don't regret my time being spent in it. I had fun with the game. Too many great games, no time for good games. Understandable. That is understandable. There's a difference between what's happened to Concord, what happened to X-Defiant, and what's happened to Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, right? Two of those games, one game is dead, one game is shutting down, and this game is not shutting down. It's just not being supported anymore, right? And there's a big difference there. It's not even that, though, Travis. It has nothing to do with the characters that came into the game. It has everything to do with the game itself. After the story content, you're playing the same bosses 13 times. You're doing the exact same thing all the time. There's no difference. Right? If you give me a blue gun, and then you give me a green gun, and then you give me a yellow gun, you know what I mean? You're still shooting shit. It's the same stuff over and over and over. It doesn't matter if I have Superman or Batman or... Yeah, sure, it'll make it more fun, but you're still shooting the same enemies. You're still killing the same one boss after the campaign, which is Brainiac. It doesn't matter if they give you Manta, right? It doesn't matter if they gave you all those other characters that people gave a shit about. You're still fighting the same boss. It's the same boss. Do you think they would have done the same boss over and over if it was super popular? One, I don't think those two go together. Fighting the same thing over and over does not make it popular. If they had different villains all the time, I think it would have been popular because people would have dove back into farm things, right? Like they could have farmed gear. Like if I had to go back and fight Flash, we've talked about this before. If you go back and fight Flash and he has a percentage of dropping a certain weapon from him, cool, right? If you went back and fought Batman in that particular way, or actually fight other characters like bad guys, you could have brought in Bane. You could have brought in Scarecrow. You could have brought in these characters instead of just by name. Yeah, we have Bane gear. We have Scarecrow gear. We have Two-Face gear. We could have fought those guys. You could have fought those guys and recruited those guys. You're telling me you can't come up with 13 different characters for bosses? Waterbear says the same boss 13 times. Dev is lazy. Speaking of saying we didn't really have an end game. Well, here's the thing. Remember that game was supposed to come out in 2021. Then it got delayed by 2 years. Got delayed by 2 years, and we ended up with the 13 same bosses. Eclipse says, yeah, the fact that they told us the story could continue every season, and all it did is a little 5-minute cutscene that's nothing to do with anything. Right. They took a single-player game, and they stretched it out to be a live service game, which it didn't need to be. It could have been just a single-player game, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. No loot, no nothing. It was just you taking a movie game. It could have been like a God of War. It could have been like Indiana Jones, what we were playing, right? It could have just been that. But instead they're like, no, let's make it into a live service game. Could have been just a single player, fun, superhero game. Nope. It could have been Spider-Man. You know what I mean? It could have been the Spider-Man of this. But nope. They're like, no, we have to monetize this. We got to monetize this with these. If you're going to monetize it, at least make fucking cool outfits. Right? Look at the difference between Marvel Rivals putting characters in and giving you sexy ass characters. And I'm not talking like sexy like sexual sexy. I'm talking about sexy looking. Like, you look at the outfits, I don't care if it's man or female, they look badass. You have badass cosmetics inside Marvel Rivals. There is nothing badass about any cosmetics in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. They took Marvel Avengers and turned up the dial to shittier cosmetics. Meanwhile, you have freaking games like Path of Exile 2. I have over 400 different bosses, and each boss is different as hell. We don't even have to go that far. You could have done Elden Ring, where you could fight the same bosses, right? That's fine. There's duplications in Elden Ring, right? But 13 of the same bosses. Like, if you had 100 bosses and 13 were the same, cool. But if you have 13 of the same, what the fuck? I mean, think if you would have also done something after Brainiac. Brainiac wasn't supposed to be as long as the ending, when it should, so it's popular that they would have done more stuff. I mean, if the game actually was successful, do you think we would have gotten better things? I don't know. Gotham Knights and should have swapped places? Not that Gotham Knights is... Here's the thing. Everyone was pissed off about Gotham Knights because of 30 frames per second. Meanwhile, the game itself was a good game. You had boss fights. I wish there was more boss fights, but at least they had 3 to 4 different boss fights in the game, and the story was done. You had 4 or 5 different factions to fight. Dolphin said King Shark said fuck you, left Suicide Squad and went to COD. Drummond says, what if they change the up the side characters or side missions / content? They had to look. There's 2 major flaws, which I said earlier. Okay, one of the major flaws is the end game is the same as the end game inside the actual game. It's the same. It's the exact same. Only now, instead of fighting on this rooftop in this world, you're fighting on the Joker rooftop in his DLC. And now you're fighting on a frozen, a frozen area in Karen Freeze's DLC. And then you're flying. It's like there's no difference. It's all the same. So if they had to change fundamentally what the game is, right? And then the side content or the mission structure of the stuff, the story campaign, listen to me, if you guys want to play the game, take away all the shit that you heard about Suicide Squad. The story is good. Okay? It's a good game, right? It's a game that I would recommend to play for just the story. I would not recommend the game if you're playing it as a shooter, looter shooter, and everything like that. Literally, don't fight Brainiac 13 times. Don't worry about all the DLC that came out and the seasons came out. Just play the story. The story is a good story. Barbear says, to be honest, I believe they should have made Suicide Squad one of the one-shot game, and Hogwarts Legacy could have been a games of service. I mean, I I mean, I said Hogwarts Legacy should have been like a games live service game type of thing, right? But I totally get it because of the story. The way they did the story was just the school year. That makes sense, right? But you're absolutely right. If they just made Suicide Squad a one-and-done story, it would have done better. It got shit on because of the live service aspect. It could have been like a Guardians of the Galaxy, right, for DC. That's what type of game Suicide Squad could have been, okay, just like Guardians of the Galaxies that came out. Altern says they could have done so many things, story missions in the episode, secondary missions of the episode, more boss fights. There are literally a lot of heroes inside the Justice League. Yeah, and they refuse to do any of them. Hilly says the lack, change, breaks, immersion, especially in a looter shooter. Once you notice the complete lack of variations, the game doesn't work. Right, and that's what I'm saying. If it was just a one and done, play the story and then move on, it would have been judged in a different light, 100%. Jason says you could have had Brainiac be defeated, and then after the game, you could have had various factions like the League of Shadows, the Court of Owls, or trying to take over Metropolis. You could have done 1,000 different things. I like that, though, Jason. That's a good one. Eclipse says it would have been nice if they had characters that also played different besides the traversal, like when the Lawless came in. I liked what they did with the combinations of the weapons. It was really fun. It just feels like they already done because the gameplay is the same. Yeah, it's the exact same. Altered says they showed Robin Mask as if he was abducted or killed. Nothing happened with that. They showed the mask, and that's it. Here's the thing. They opened up the universe, and they could have brought in any heroes. You could have been Hawkman. You could have been a different Flash. You could have been a different Batman. You could have brought in your characters from your fucking Gotham Knights game. You could have crossed things and said, yeah, this is Red Hood from Gotham Knights, like the game that you already played. They could have done 1,000 different things, and instead they're like 13 Brainiacs, same rooftop battles. We'll just change the map, right? They took the Fortnite map, okay, and just changed different pieces of the map and said, yeah, it's different. If Hogwarts was games as service, I don't think it would have landed on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One or Switch. Because of the... Yeah, I understand that, but I still think that Hogwarts Legacy is a much... Put it this way. Hogwarts is a much more suitable game that you could have made a games of service other than Suicide Squad, right? Suicide Squad's a single-player game. Hogwarts Legacy could have been an MMO, right? Could have been a live service game because the brand is just a better fit for it. But I totally get Hogwarts is a fantastic game, right? Hogwarts is a fantastic game, and it did what it did because of the school year. The story took place during a school year, so you couldn't really have done the live service game aspect of it. Waterbed says, I feel bad for Guardians of the Galaxy. I have the game, which actually really good, but it came out around the same time as Avengers and caught the stray bullets. Yeah, it did exactly what happened to Solo when The Last Jedi came out. All right, speaking of adjusting and shaping up changes here, Lego Fortnite has done a couple of changes. Okay. So Fortnite is the king of, I mean, they basically, it was funny. I was just telling my son the other day, because he wanted to play Battle Royale. And I was like, oh, you know what? I don't know why I'm doing it this way. I can just move my camera. Hold on. Sorry, I gotta adjust my camera because I shifted over. Okay. All right, so I was like moving over. I'm like, why am I moving? I'll just move my camera. So he wanted to, he's like, why don't you like playing Battle Royale? I said, I don't like playing Battle Royale because I just want to jump in the map and like beat the bosses or explore or drive around and do stuff, right? And he's like, oh, I get that. I said, why can't they just give me a mode to do that? Which the Lego mode is that mode, okay? I wish they did it in the regular Fortnite as well, okay? But now they have a couple different things, right? Now, I don't know if I like this. This is the Grand Theft Auto one. I want to go to the Odyssey one first, okay? So, obviously, this is not a different mode. This is the same mode that's been out for Lego Fortnite for a while. They've now just converged all the stuff with the Star Wars stuff and the open world stuff, and they've all merged it together into this now, which is Odyssey, okay? So, Fortnite Lego Fortnite becomes Lego Fortnite Odyssey with the Storm Chasers update. In the world of Lego Fortnite has first assembled 1 year ago. That's crazy. It's already been a year, and it's grown a lot since then. We're excited to share that Lego Fortnite has has a new game or new name, Lego Fortnite Odyssey. When you head to Discover, you'll also see Lego Fortnite is now its own unique category with Fortnite. There's also you'll find Lego Fortnite Odyssey, Lego Group Made Islands, Creator Made Lego Islands, and Lego Fortnite Brick Life, which we'll talk about in a second. A new social role-play experience launching on December 12th. Now, in Lego Fortnite Odyssey, the Storm King thundered also onto the scene. Survival modes, latest update, Storm Chasers, which also the Storm Wild Legion led the Ravens of the Storm King and everything it needs to complete its sinister quest to consume all. It's up to you and your friends to stop them. So basically, you've made Minecraft, right, into this thing. Find Storm Chaser Village, meet the new friends, build up a strengths, and take down the electrifying evil as you go about your journey. Battle all new foes, have players perilous dungeons, and also build powerful new weapons using improved crafting mechanics. Okay, your journey begins with the Storm Chaser Village. You're not only will you be trying to fight back against the Storm King, you're also Storm Chasers also have the heroic assembles of do-gooders, including their determined leader, Carl Ruckus. Okay, the big-brained meteorologist taking cover of the Storm Chaser Village. As you get to know the crew, you also get the goals to complete which one of your adventures that will also help you progress towards the ultimate goal, defeating the Storm King, which is a big boss fight they showed at the very end. You got various requests to complete. Keep track of your progression using the handy journal. From here, you can also pin goals to your HUD and also easily track them across the current world. Okay, head out into the storms. You're also going to need more of the umbrella to deal with these storms. The Storm King's invasion was wrapped in the very fabric of reality, causing enormous storm systems to appear in random locations across the map. You know what I think is funny? They've kind of taken what Fortnite Save the World was, and they kind of moved it over to what Legos is, right? They took the storm type of a zombie type of thing, okay? And there's a ton of secrets waiting for you in the brave enough to venture into the shroud areas, not just try to get into the zappy lightning strike as explored. Okay, you also find storm dungeons at the center of the storms, each of which holds a fragment of the Storm King's electrified power of its core, navigating your way through the dangers of the strike below influence, and you also get the step closer to liberating your world. Just be careful that the closer you get to the end, the bigger the dangers you also have to contend with. Once you conquer the storm dungeons and surrounding storms will disappear, meaning you're free to explore the area without fear of being zapped. But it also won't take long for the Storm King's thunderous might to recharge. After 24 hours, the conquered storm dungeons after reborn with also new pathways, dangers, and puzzles. Be prepared to conquer new challenges every time. Okay, introducing the village. Prepare to take on the Storm King's acolytes and furious factions of fantastic, causing a havoc throughout the world's Lego's Fortnite Odyssey. Keep your eyes peeled on the acolytes' most elite units. Maybe this acolyte will be successful. Okay, grant them by the villainous king himself. Be aware of the storm crawlers to give them the nasty shock. So there's some of the bad guys that you'll see. Storm King's right-hand man, Raven, will also appear somewhere within the world after you've helped the Storm Chasers significantly advance the village. Defeat this fearsome foe. You'll be able to break the arcane lock-keeping mysterious gateway in the center of the world's largest storm closed. So you have to, like a mini boss fight over here. You got the Storm King. All right, so the Storm King is a menacing monarch back in his own dimension. Step through the gateway after taking down Raven. You'll also be teleported to the Storm King's lair. The multi-stage boss battle will be the ultimate test of your wits, battle skills, and survival instincts. This bad guy here was also one of the dungeon bosses in survival as well, which I think is funny, which also can be crafted powerful weapons and improved tools. But the fight isn't over just yet. After 24 hours, the storm King will power back up, gather his friends, and take him down again to earn more rewards. New adventures, new gameplay mechanics. The Storm Chaser update comes with electrifying number of gameplay improvements, from overhaul progression system to all new crafting system. Progress your adventures anywhere, anytime. From the dusty sands of the frozen wildlands to the enemy difficulty has also been equalized across biomes, giving the freedom to take your adventures anywhere you choose. To improve the balance further, the health and damage of the enemies have also been adjusted across the board. Component-based crafting. Build your way up to any situation with whatever you got your hands on. The Storm Chaser update introduces a component-based crafting, meaning you'll have to now got your more flexibility to decide which materials would you like to use to build your favorite weapons and tools. But think carefully, because the quality of materials you decide to use will affect the attributes and the rarity of the end results. That's actually pretty cool. Several improvements also have been made to resource gathering to make it more intuitive. Wood, stone, metal, gem, and rift each assign a power tier and conveys the rarity of the wood being lowest common and to the rift being the highest legendary. Legendary Forge. Build an ultimate endgame weapon. The Legendary Forge is an upgrade station that can also build a boost your gear to new heights. Imbue a tier 4 weapon tool with rift crystals, unlocking its untapped potential. And you must use this rift item to increase the rift energy flowing through it until it evolves into the final form, unlocking hidden stats. Storm King won't know what hit him. Down, but not out. Peely is down. Someone also help him up when the health and other players and NPCs can now revive you and get back into the battle. That's nice. Because when you were down, that was it. Vehicle guided builds. Travel the world in style with the new guided builds. Little Barrage is also a thing of minifigures who also prefer to keep dry while navigating the waters, while also Speedy Storm Chaser will get you from A to B in no time. You can unlock these builds by progressing through the Storm King's quest line. Bring along a friend with couch co-op. That's always nice. Storm King also will fall twice as fast with the two heroes. Lego Fortnite Odyssey is fully compatible with split screen on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox Series X, S, and Xbox One. Here's a quick reminder of how to access split screen. We don't need to read that. There's a Lego Pass Chill and Thrill. You got a bunch of passes. You got some more Lego builds that you can get. Your V-Bucks work here after purchasing a premium reward track upgrade. What else? Unlock the Mr. Dapperment outfit. Quality of life improvements. All right, let's see what they have here. Gameplay exploration enhancements. All melee attacks now have increased range. Jump high also been slightly increased. Stamina consumption also reduces the sprinting and swimming. Player's inventory size has been increased. Text chat support has been added. Caves and bus stations now appear on the minimap from further away. I don't even know what that stuff is because we haven't played the game in such a long time. You can now use a station in the rain. More goals to locations of your marked on the map. You'll no longer take damage from the cold or warm. However, you will still take damage from freezing or burning. Added the slurp launcher used to heal yourself and your friends. Balancing and progression improvements. Run for your life. Enemies way above your current power level will now be marked with a threat indicator. That's sort of like the skulls from any other game. One-shot protection has been removed or reworked to make it more forgiving. Increase the maximum durability of many items. Increase the starting health on new worlds from 3 to 5 hearts. Village upgrade rewards and villager job rewards have been reworked and streamlined progression. Chests now reward loot better, aligned with your in-game progress. You'll also now encounter tougher foes after making significant progress in the game. Brutes will now inflict less damage, but also more health. Damage to the health in enemies in expert worlds also have been reduced. Enemies in cozy worlds now inflict less damage and have less health. Stormwild enemies now inflict less damage, and knockback on player weapons and enemy attacks have been adjusted. Let's see, bug fixes. All right, so there you go. So this is not a new game. This is basically an updated version. This is like, Lego Fortnite 4.0 type of thing. We might jump in. I don't know. Maybe over the holidays we'll jump in, or maybe I'll jump in maybe in January or whatnot when we have time and I'm not playing, 10,000 other things. But then they have Lego Fortnite Brick Life, which this is very interesting. This is very interesting to me because I've said for the longest time that Fortnite wanted to be like a MMO, right? Like they wanted to be, and this is just straight up Grand Theft Auto inside of Lego Fortnite. Instead of Fortnite, they put it in Lego Fortnite, which I think is is an interesting take on this, right? Okay. So Lego Fortnite Brick Life, build your life in the big city. Make new friends, explore and sites, move into your dream home, and start building your lifestyle in Lego Fortnite Brick Life. An all-new social role-playing experience in Lego Fortnite World launching December 12th. So this is Second Life. This is Grand Theft Auto Online. This is, name a game. That's what this is, okay? At launch, Lego Fortnite Brick Life will be available on all platform regions, and Fortnite is supported with the exceptions of South Korea. Okay, what is Lego Fortnite Brick Life? Okay, pack up your bricks, piece up the step into an ever-evolving city where you can build your own stores by interacting with both the environment and the fellow residents. My question there is, can I actually have a store and sell stuff, and do I make money off of that? Do I make the stuff? Like, how do I do that instead of just making a store, right? Gather your friends, make a new ones. They also explore vibrant locals and the sunset-drenched beaches and the mysterious academy, along with 31 other players. Become the ultimate socialite and hang out in restaurants, house parties, rooftop clubs. Activities in Lego Fortnite Brick Life are better together. To host a brand practice down to beach, grab a bite to eat with friends, or race through the streets on hoverboards. Okay. You also decorate your own home in a wide range of Lego furniture afforded by taking on assortment of jobs, from a mystical fortune teller to hardworking sushi chef. Okay. Start your dream job. First things first, you're going to need to make a living, right? So you're basically, it's job simulator, which means that you also need to get a job. Whether you're fancy or profession of everyone in the Brick Bay, here's just a few different roles that you can take. You can take a courier, deliver parcels to other Brick Bay residents. Academic professor, share your knowledge with the class, okay, at the academy. Security officer, make sure crime doesn't pay. Scoundrel, prank fellow citygoers. Sushi chef, serve up the tasty fish in Brick Bay. Bobom, milk tea. Okay, serve Brick most refreshing beverage, or fortune teller, what does your fortune hold? New future. Fancy career change, go right ahead. Okay, you can take up a new job whenever you feel like it. No interview is required. Try out all the different professions until your favorite one. Keep your eye out on the in-game phone to be busy. Occasionally send out calls for help. Okay. Where to go from the relax after a hard day's work. You're also several empty lots found throughout the city where you can also place a home, ranging from cozy suburbia houses to sleek apartment, luxurious penthouses, and pick a purchase of your own home and customize it to your heart's content. But before you get to do that, you also need some stuff to decorate with it. Open up your phone to access the furniture catalog. Obviously, microtransactions galore. Okay, where you also find a huge assortment of items you can also use to personalize your new place. You're also looking for something unique. Stop by the furniture shop right down the block, which regulates as a brand new items. Already got some decor bundles and builds boxed up and ready to go. Then you can also use the Lego Fortnite Brick Life too. Just look for the cross-compatible icon in the locker. Please note, while most decor bundles and builds from Lego Fortnite Odyssey are also cross-compatible with Lego Fortnite Brick Life, a small section, especially large builds, will not be available for use at launch. Okay, however, these will also be supported in the near future, so stay tuned for updates. I literally said this, right? That they're going to sell you, like, things in the store, right? Not like in the actual shop. Like, if they could sell you, like, sets. Like, I have some things behind me, like, I built, right? They could sell those inside the virtual world, and you can put that inside the world and actually live in it. You know what I mean? This is going to be a gold mine for not just Lego, but for Fortnite as well. Okay. After a hard day's work, unwind with your friends in these absolute tons and see what's across the Brick Bay, so you can grab the best pals and see what's out there. As you get to know into the city, meet the new Lego faces as well as other players. Say hello to those who meet, and also out there, text chat, which is interesting. Okay, I'll be honest, as a dad, I don't know if I want my son playing this game with complete strangers in a social environment like this. It'd be interesting to see. Okay, I wonder if I could put some sort of requirements or locks behind certain things. You know what I mean? You can also interact using emotes or jam tracks, including use the jam loops, the first of Lego Fortnite, in your locker, providing them a capability of Lego Fortnite universe. Don't forget to show off your style using your existing outfits as well. Okay, obviously, because you're playing other game modes, you're unlocking certain things, you purchase certain things. Now you're in here, and now people see it. You're an advertisement for them as well. Okay. Explores everything Brick Bay has to offer. There's also something for everyone in Brick Bay. You also know where you can find a bustling Bricktropolis, full of interesting locations, explore landmarks, admire jobs to try out, and much more. Not sure where to head first? Here are a few recommendations. You got Town Square. You got the beach. You got the Academy. You got Rooftop Club grand opening. How to play Lego Fortnite Brick Life. Wondering where you need to go to start your city life? You need to head over into Discovery, Fortnite's main menu. And you also now find Lego Fortnite listed as a unique category within Fortnite itself. So there you go. You can unlock these certain characters. So this is very interesting because I've been saying for years and years and years that Fortnite's going to do some sort of online, MMO. Because when they first had their first concert, they had these shops and stores on the island. And I thought this was interesting because I was like, oh, it reminds me of Second Life, but you couldn't really buy anything. Well, it looks like here in Lego Fortnite Brick Life, there'll be stores, and when you click on the store, it'll actually be a shop. And when you buy the thing, you'll actually purchase it and put it in your actual house that you build inside the game. Now, I wonder if you can actually open up your own shop and stuff like that and like make stuff and like sell it for in-game currency. I don't know if there's an in-game currency and a premium currency. Obviously, the V-Bucks is the premium currency, but I don't know if there's going to be some sort of in-game currency that you can spend your stuff on, like in what's it called? What's the it's just called credits in Grand Theft Auto, right? I think it's just credits, and then it's shark cards or whatever it is to buy the actual currency. But here, let's take a look at this real fast. We're going to lower the music because you don't need to hear the music. Okay. So, it's just it's Second Life. That's what it is. You get to go around and it's Grand Theft Auto. I know everyone says Grand Theft Auto, but I think it's more like Second Life than it is for Grand Theft Auto, but we'll see. I mean, Grand Theft Auto basically is Second Life, right? Like, I just want to know what you're going to be doing. This, to me, seems pretty fucking boring after a certain period of time. Like, when you first play it, you'll be like, oh, this is cool, and explore and whatnot. But then it's just like, why? Like, why am I going to do this? Instead of, like, hanging out with my friends in a game like this, like, just hanging out. Like, I'd rather hang out and, like, play Battlefield or play Battlefront or play a different game, Path of Exile. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to hang out at a pool in a virtual world. I'd rather go hang out at a pool in real life. But, each their own. Right? Each their own. So, my question to you guys, chat, like, what do you think of stuff like this, right? What do you think of Fortnite taking, as Krebsy's been saying for the last week, more points of entry for different, more people coming in for certain things? Do you think, because now Disney's coming in as well, Disney's going to have something within Fortnite itself. Do you think that's what it's going to be? Like, is Disney coming in and they're going to have the exact same thing for Lego, but now for Disney, so you can be a Disney character living in your life inside the world of, Disney Town or Disney Village or whatever the hell they're going to call it? Like, where do you think they're going with Fortnite? And do you like it? Do you not like it? And not even as a player, as a parent, if you have kids that play Fortnite, do you like stuff like this coming into the game? Right? Yeah, we have that story too, Krebsy. I have that. I saw it in Discord. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Ron says Lego Concord coming soon. Lego Concord. With Sim Social, yeah. Just let you know, 30, if you want to play some Lego now that this update's out, I'm down. It looks awesome. I might take a look at it this afternoon. Because tonight we're playing some Indiana Jones, which I am loving Indiana Jones. It was fantastic last night. We played for like 5 hours last night. If you missed it, go check it out. Eclipse says, I just bought Monster Hunter Wilds. I got a surprise $100 from the Fortnite lawsuit. The fact that Fortnite Crew gives you all the battle passes and you just level up everything now is awesome. Oh, how much is that? My son was telling me something about that, as far as he says something about the crew. I get all the passes now. Haven't been back in a while. Yeah, you get all the battle passes, and all your experiences you get goes to the battle passes. You don't have to individually level them up now. Oh, so okay, so you pay a one lump sum, and as I'm playing, it levels up the band one. It levels up the. I got it. Okay. Crowded House says, Mike, have you seen the trailer for the PC only game? It looks amazing, and apparently the devs are all from Huge Games. I have not. Did you post it in our Discord? Fortnite also has an extraction shooter in the works. Seems like they're also trying to be their own Roadblocks, but better. $12. $12 a month. That actually might be. Well, that's good. Maybe. Because the grandparents are asking, what does your son want? What does your son want? Maybe he wants that. Like, what do you get kids nowadays? You know what I mean? Thomas Slater says, what's $12? The $12 is the whatever the pass is called, the Fortnite Crew Pass. I think it's called the Crew Pass. Let me bring up the where is right here. Where is the no, that's not it. Did I click on the wrong link? Extraction shooter, Tom Henderson. There it is. Come on, heck. Mo says, seems like CD Projekt Red's holding a grudge. I'm all for it. For what, Mo? What are you getting into with the no pro update for Cyberpunk? Oh, did they make an announcement for something and they're not making a pro update? Argus says Fortnite Crew gives you every battle pass, 1,000 V-Bucks a month, Rocket League pass as well, and exclusive skins and stuff each month. Interesting. Flip says it's well worth it. Like there's like 6 skins in the normal battle pass, and the other 3 give you at least 5 or so. It's just the skins. You get other stuff too. I'll have to talk to the wife and see if we want to do for our son, because he's playing a lot more Fortnite now. So we'll see. Because I don't know if you guys, if your kids do the same thing. They're like, oh, Dad, you see this? Yeah, this is pretty cool. He won't ask like, hey, can I have that? He'll look at it and go, oh, did you see this? Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's like, it has this thing, and it has also the back bling and the back bling. Like, they won't ask like, hey, can I get this? He'll just try to hype it up for you a little bit. He's like a salesman. You know what I mean? Comment, this Legion Studio looks amazing. Apparently, old COD, Apex Legend, Halo, Doom, Battlefield, and Destiny devs are among the many working on it. The stream is about to start in 15 minutes. What they're talking about, Eclipse? What stream for what? We'll watch it. I mean, we're pretty light on news of the week. So Fortnite is in development, or supposedly developing an extraction shooter game mode, it's claimed. Why not? Why not? The new leak suggests that Epic Games and Fortnite are working on a new extraction shooter game mode. This news comes from Fortnite leaker and data miner Lol World, who revealed that despite some rumors suggesting that the game mode is canceled, it is in fact still in development. Why wouldn't it be? You know what I mean? What's the downside of them trying it out? You know what I mean? While it's unclear what game would entitle the Fortnite universe, it's all likely fellow almost every other extraction shooter in the market with the game loop. Drop into a map, gather resources, extract, and repeat. He was careful to point out that things might change as well as the case. There's also leaks. You also have to wait and see if the game mode comes to fruition. According to the leaker, the game mode is currently under development under codename Arnold. Last week, new rumors surfaced that Fortnite OG has up to 90% bots per game, which we talked about yesterday, for low-skilled players. Epic Games also has yet to comment officially. So, what do you guys think about extraction shooter from Fortnite? Why not? They stole from PUBG to make Battle Royale, and then it turned out to be a good choice for them. So why not get into the extraction shooter, lineup? Why not? Hex says, nah, my son will ask. I told him knock it and shall open until you. Yeah, I'm going to try it out and see if it's good. Oh, the CD Projekt Red update. What's that? Is it on it's on YouTube? Let's see. Oh, we got a review of Indiana Jones' The Great Circle. We can watch that. How about watch that instead? Hey, you know what?
This video is brought to you by Gigabyte.
Let's watch Skill Up. Let's watch Skill Up. He doesn't usually do spoilers. He just talks about the game. Let me raise this up. Talk about Indiana Jones. I haven't seen any reviews. I haven't seen anything. I know you guys were telling me the last couple days it's getting good scores and whatnot. So,
And their brand new range of Z890 motherboards supporting the all-new Intel Ultra-Core Series 2 processors, featuring robust power and cooling, Wi-Fi 7, and plenty of M2 slots.
I don't want to watch a live thing if they're just going to talk. I'll watch the past broadcast for the Cyberpunk thing if anything comes from it.
These motherboards can handle whatever you throw at them, be it ultra settings gaming or demanding AI-enabled workflows. To celebrate their launch, Gigabyte is giving away a PC to one lucky viewer of this channel. Stick around to the end of the video to learn more.
Jesus.
I had so much fun last night when I was doing when I was doing stuff like this. Can I I don't have this here. Hold on a second. Let me text myself the picture I took last night. Hold on one second. This is fantastic. Okay. I want to show you the picture I took last night, and this represents for me what's happening in Indiana Jones, right? I love it. But last night, if you guys were watching for Indiana Jones, I was just killing everybody. I was fighting everybody and then picking up their bodies and like throwing them into like different places, which I thought was hilarious, right? So let me get this real fast. Okay, and let me show you this. Okay, so there's the picture right there. That picture should tell you everything about how much fun I'm having in the game. I took basically every Nazi I fought, and I chucked him into this fountain. And this guy was just leaning up against it, and I was like, I'm gonna take a picture. I was like, this is fantastic, right? So let's go back to Skill Up's review here.
Look, I don't know if I'm going to be able to convince you of this by the end of the review, but I really believe that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is an all-timer, and we're going to be talking about it like 20 years from now. It's going to be added to the list of best licensed games, best tomb raiding games, best...
I'll be honest. Before playing this game, listening to him say that, I would be like, really? Him saying that now, after me playing 5 hours? I can agree. I can see it.
Xbox games, best games set in the Vatican. To be fair, that is a very short list. Like, I really believe in this opening release window there's going to be some umming and ahhing about how well the hub areas work and how dumb the enemy AI is or whatever. But in 5 years' time, no one's going to give a fuck about any of that, and all you're going to see are YouTube essays either nostalgia thirsting, like they don't make games like this anymore, or doing like 6-hour deep dives into why the Great Circle's level design is so masterful. And I'm 100% serious about both of those predictions, by the way. You can bookmark that. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is so surprising for so many reasons. I mean, first of all, no one really had high expectations for this because we all kind of just expected first-person Uncharted. Like, what else could it be, right? Well, a lot more actually. It's hub-based exploration that rewards your curiosity, it's side quests that are deeply folded into the main narrative, it's non-linear level design that gives you so many entry and exit points littered with tools that allow you to adopt different gameplay styles, moving seamlessly between stealth and combat.
I haven't shot a gun yet. I like how last night, I don't know if Nate's here. Nate's like, you don't have to do that. You can sneak. I'm like, I'm going to do what I want. And that's what I like about it.
And back again whenever the situation calls for it. It's also really stripped back in a good way. Like, this is a AAA game, absolutely. But it doesn't feel like it. We all expected the Great Circle to be like a Sony game, but in first person. But this feels so much more tactile and authentic. And this is going to sound really weird, but I was thinking a lot about this because, you know, I was playing an Indiana Jones game. But the Great Circle feels like a really high quality leather product, like a pair of boots or a whip or a jacket. Like, if you've ever bought any one of those, you know what I'm...
The quality. He's talking about the quality. Like, when you pick up a leather jacket, a good leather jacket, like the stitching and everything about it is just immaculate. That's what he's talking about.
Like, they seem really simple in their construction, but that's only because a huge amount of craftsmanship has gone into making them look really simple. They are durable to the point where they can withstand anything you throw at them, and they're beautiful, and their beauty does not fade. They just get a weathered look that only adds to their charm. The Great Circle looks so simple on the surface, but underneath that simplicity is so much elegant design about how to approach something as simple as a main menu screen, or as complex as seamlessly weaving side content into a broader storyline. The Great Circle is highly durable.
The Lego Fortnite Ivy comes out today for the Odyssey. For the Lego Brick Life comes out the 12th, so 2 days from now.
In the sense that any way you want to play it, from sneaky stealth boy to BJ Blazkowicz with a fedora, the game will let you do it and it will work flawlessly. And my god, is this game beautiful. And it's beautiful in a way that will stand the test of time because its rendition of these historic settings perfectly captures their timeless beauty, and in the more intimate spaces and moments, the attention to detail for things like decor, character blocking, and lighting are frequently stunning. As someone with a deep, deep love of this source material, I spent a lot of time wondering if I loved this as much as I did purely because I love the movies, and I came to the conclusion that it surely doesn't hurt. Certainly at times I was laughing out loud because of how impressed I was at Machine Games' ability to capture the essence of those legendary films. But you know, I love the Avengers.
Yeah, I like where he's going with this. Go ahead, Skill Up. Cook.
And I didn't like the Avengers game. I love the Lord of the Rings, and I didn't like Gollum. Point is, games can't rely on their source material alone. They have to stand on their own 2 feet.
That's because you have to respect the source material. Those 2 games did not respect the source material.
And I really believe that Indiana Jones and the Great Circle stands very, very tall indeed.
First of all, RoboCop last year, I think, was one of my favorite games I played last year. I love the RoboCop game. It was so authentic to what RoboCop is, right? RoboCop last year was the 3rd movie. It was so good. This right here, I haven't seen Indiana Jones and the Dysteria, whatever the fucking thing is. I don't, Dynasty or whatever. I don't even know what the last movie was. Okay. I didn't see the Crystal Skull fuck thing. I didn't watch that either. Those movies don't exist in my timeline because I've only seen, okay, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. This game right here in my 5 hours of just playing so far is the 4th movie for Indiana Jones. That's how good I like it so far.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle begins here, a shot-for-shot remake of the opening of the first film, Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's an opening that's been received really well in that it's clearly Machine Games paying their respects to those movies while allowing us to see those events through Indy's eyes, and most people really love that. Me personally, I actually think this is the weakest part of the whole game because of how much it invites a comparison that the game can never live up to. I mean, digital Indiana Jones looks pretty damn good, but Harrison Ford in his prime was a handsome motherfucker in a way that even technology 40 years later cannot fully capture. Walking through a jungle without the credits overlaid and without that John Williams score carefully narrating every single step, it just kind of feels a little sourceless. And the iconic boulder sequence, the only reason it's iconic is because in the film, you can see the boulder nipping at Indy's heels. In the Great Circle, you're just a dude running through a cave.
Yeah, I get that.
I learned to hate you in the last 10 years.
Here's the thing, though. This I don't think was setting a tone. It was more of a tipping of the hat. You know what I mean? Where it started and what we're doing. Sort of like a passing of a torch type of thing.
Well, where the hell were you?
Interestingly, I think this boulder sequence would have worked really well in a third-person, over-the-shoulder Sony game because you can frame shots however you please when you're doing that. But here in the Great Circle, the perspective shift robs this sequence of the very thing that makes it so memorable, the boulder. I will admit, I was never really on board with the idea of a first-person Indiana Jones game. Thinking about moments like this boulder chase, thinking about seeing Indy on screen as he jumps and swings and dangles and punches Nazis, I'm like, surely this is a third-person experience, right? There's also the learned experience of Uncharted, which is highly Indiana
I love Uncharted. I love Uncharted series.
Jones coded, and that was a third-person game, so surely an Indiana Jones game should be third-person too, right? Honestly, never been happier to have been totally wrong about something. Machine Games' decision to make this a first-person experience is the cornerstone on which the rest of this game's greatness is built. Not only does it work from an immersion perspective, but it creates a clear dividing line between the entire generation's worth of third-person cinematic Sony-style games we've been playing since the likes of Uncharted laid down that template. Set against that, the Great Circle feels incredible.
Ow. Slam into the rocks like that? What's wrong with you? How's the audio in Rumble during that sequence? It's at the very beginning of the game. Heck, there's not really. I wasn't playing on PlayStation, so I don't know what the controller would do. Mine rumbled a little bit, but it wasn't like oh, it's amazing.
Fresh. Because yeah, you can liken this to Dishonored and Thief and Chronicles of Riddick, but they aren't making those games anymore, and besides, this isn't quite like any of those. It doesn't have the funky powers of Dishonored or the rigid stealth focus of Thief, and Riddick was very often a first-person shooter, which this definitely is not. It's its own totally unique blend of stealth and combat and exploration and puzzle.
Yeah, he's showing footage from like the very first couple hours.
Solving, all of it delivered through a first-person perspective that lets
Oh,
you
cool.
put on the fedora for the first time, that lets you gaze upon some hidden tomb that no one has laid eyes on for thousands of years, that lets you put up your jukes as you square off against a Nazi bruiser. And because the rest of the game is built as a video game,
Well, this looks cool.
played in the first-person perspective, there's never another moment like that boulder sequence, where it seems as though the game is trying but failing to
I'm sorry. I get to fly a plane in a sequence? Should I close my eyes and just listen?
achieve something that the films all did better. In fact, more often than not, I was struck by how much the Great Circle was able to find its own way to match some of the high points of the 3 Indiana Jones films, because as we know, only 3 Indiana Jones films have ever
That's exactly right, Skill Up. Only 3 movies actually exist.
been made. Tone is an area where Machine Games really understood the assignment. At every moment, it just feels perfect. I mean, at one moment, you're breathlessly leaping aboard a Zeppelin as it unmoors from the St. Peter's Dome, and in the next, you can hear the perfectly channeled schoolboy-esque excitement of Troy Baker's Indy as he lays out a theory for what the Great Circle is.
Throughout history, mankind has built sites of great spiritual significance. Siwa, Giza, Persepolis, Mohenjo-Daro, Sukhothai, Nazca, Machu Picchu. Now, here's the strange part. If you were to draw a line through these ancient sites around the globe, you get a perfectly aligned circle.
The Great Circle.
Exactly.
It also totally, and I mean totally, nails the Indiana Jones sense of humor, which can often rely on fairly lengthy gags with some big payoff, like this one here where a fascist soldier buys Indy's priest disguise and pulls him into a confessional booth so he can receive his absolution.
Ah, I swear to God, that confession booth right there, that is a secret. Something there in that booth he's going to open up to a secret passage. I swear to God.
I had an affair with my mother-in-law.
It's all right. Just say 3 Hail Marys.
No, Father, you don't understand. My wife is expecting a child, and I fear that.
What?
Yeah, let me finish, please. I fear that my mother-in-law is with the child also.
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of sad this is ruined, but like, I'm also glad that that's funny. What's going on, alien?
What have you done?
Wait. You are not a priest.
The real tonal standout, though, are the Nazis, particularly the main antagonist, Voss. This is some top-tier villain shit right here. Voss is absolutely brilliant, played by Marius Gavrilis. He is both refined yet barbaric, logical and dispassionate in one moment, and then stark raving mad in the next. His interactions with a rival German commander are legit the best scenes in the entire game, as the two of them perform an extremely prolonged dick-measuring contest for our enjoyment.
Wo waren die Affengeräusche? Um ihren peinlichen Versuch, Dominanz zu zeigen, zu unterstreichen.
Voss feels that classic indie villain archetype, the one where they kind of hate-respect Indy because they know that he's the best in the field, and they're jealous of that, and they need to rely on his daring and brilliance to make the breakthroughs that they alone cannot. Voss is always reaching out to Indy whenever they meet, and that gives all of their scenes so much depth, because just as much as Voss wants to find the secret of the Great Circle, he wants to be able to converse with Indy, to share ideas and theories, to dialogue with someone he considers an equal. It's something that Indy can never and would never give him, and that irreconcilable tension gives all of their face-to-face standoffs so much electricity.
It's been a long time, Indiana. I have missed our conversations.
That makes one of us.
The same authenticity exists when it comes to every aspect of this game's visuals. Honestly, there's just so much to say about this that it's hard to know where to start. Let's talk performance first though, because Jesus Christ, it's crazy how well this game runs, given how good it looks. So yeah, the minimum specs for this on PC are really high. It actually recommends a 3080 Ti to be able to play at recommended settings. But that hasn't been the lived experience of most people playing this. Many people are playing it on lower end machines and it runs just fine.
I'm playing on Xbox Series X. It's fantastic looking.
And looks great while doing it. This is, after all, running on the id Tech engine, which is some sort of wicked black magic that we mere mortals or Tim Sweeney could never dream of understanding. When playing on higher end PCs though, this is unbelievable in the sense that it actually delivers what you'd expect from a AAA game running on high-end hardware. Like, I can crank every setting to max, and that's including ray tracing baked in, mind you. I can run it at 4K, DLSS set to quality, and I'm able to get a locked 120 FPS with it just looking remarkable.
So hold on a second, okay? Where's all the praise though? Yeah, but Altern runs fine on this 4000 PC rig. He's saying it runs at the 3080. It runs fine on the machines, right? Where's the praise that everyone always gives shit to Xbox for unoptimized, not running well, doing all this stuff? And here we are with their game out, and it's running fantastic.
And not to sound entitled or whatever, but like, that's what we should regularly be getting.
Yeah, you should be getting that. That should be the standard, not the oddball out
hardware that is that capable. Instead, we usually get like horrendous shader stutter and unreliable frame rates, and the dream of ray tracing is a distant one that feels further and further away with each new release. The sheer craftsmanship of this video game can be felt across every part of it, but in particular how well it runs and how good it looks while doing it. Because, yeah, what a game to look at. Honestly, it would stop me in my tracks so often. I'd just be like, how on earth did Machine Games pull this off? I realized that a huge part of its visual impact is the fact that it's rendering real spaces, as we might today encounter them. This is not a futuristic space station or an Overwatch map or a post-apocalyptic setting. It's not Anor Londo or the Halig Tree. It's not Orgrimmar or some Forge world from Warhammer 40k. I looked at the top 20 highest rated games for 2024, and the only one of them that was set in what we might call a real setting was Like a Dragon Infinite. I did the same thing for 2023, and the only game in the top 20 set in a real real setting was Alan Wake 2. It's not a criticism, by the way, it's just a fact that most games are not set in real settings, and when they are, they're often sort of messed up interpretations of them, like The Last of Us, or even Alan Wake, actually. The Great Circle's locales are these dreamy, idyllic, gorgeous, sunny, real-world locations, adorned in all the accoutrements of 1936, a period where people still had books on their shelves, and typewriters, and ye olde telephones where you had to click the receiver and ask for an operator. There's this one tent that you spend a bit of time in Giza.
Like, look at the textures on just the curtain in front of them.
And I found myself just slowly panning around it because I was
100%. That's exactly what I was doing yesterday. I was like taking my sweet time and looking at everything. I was just like, wow, this is beautiful.
like, look at this detail. Look at how lovingly crafted and deliberately placed every asset is. Look at the way all of this is lit. Same sort of thing inside the Zeppelin, where there's a few rooms full of just material, and it looks impressive when it had absolutely no reason to be, because you don't even do anything in these cages, you just kind of walk past them. Zooming out from these settings, they're as impressive to look at from afar as they are up close. A vista overlooking Rome with St. Peter's Basilica in the distance. The pyramids of Giza have honestly never looked better in any video game. You spend like 10 minutes in Shanghai and it's like one of the best looking video game environments I've stepped into this year. The art design in this game is just completely off the hook. But also the range of the art design within specific spaces and how densely all of that is packed in. This footage that I'm showing you here is from a single gameplay clip that I recorded that goes for 13 minutes. In that 13 minutes, I walked through a barracks for the fascist forces occupying the Vatican, the cobbled thoroughfares of Vatican City, a bedraped chapel under renovation, the Vatican's red-bricked rooftops, a grand marble-floored museum, a bustling piazza, and a dig site. The Great Circle is so visually dense that it's serving up in 13 minutes the kind of visual diversity that other games would meter out over 13 hours. Oh, and of course, the Sistine Chapel's in there too, but, you know, that's a separate clip. And then there's the framing all of these monuments and the secrets you uncover both above and below them. I mean, the scene of a Zeppelin pulling up over the Vatican and docking in St. Peter's Dome, that is some evocative imagery that feels right at home in Indiana Jones, and exactly the same way that this warrior's tomb feels like it's been pulled straight from The Last Crusade. The way each of these new, hidden, underground discoveries is framed and lit the first moment you see them, it really does stop you in your tracks almost every time. But equally impressive in a totally different way is the way that many of the cutscenes are lit. Like, look at this cutscene. The lighting here is not remotely realistic because it's not meant to be. It's meant to be romantic, and not in a dinner and flowers kind of way. It's the romance of adventure. A group of friends are watching sunset, sailing the seas towards their next dangerous escapade. Like, come on, you're gonna look at this and tell me you don't wish you were right there on deck with them? Raiders of the Lost Ark is over 40 years old now. The Last Crusade is 35 years old. And that is, of course, the last Indiana Jones film ever released.
That is also the correct answer. Yes, The Last Crusade was the last film.
In the intervening period, we might have wondered how well all of this holds up 3 or 4 decades later, and would any of it need to be updated or augmented so it still hits right in 2024? And the answer is no. Indy is still the same guy, and Troy Baker's performance perfectly captures both the sound of Harrison Ford's voice and the energy of his performance. Nazis are still the perfect foil for Indy, obsessive and sadistic, with their mania making them ripe for comedic ribbing. The wonders of the ancient and modern worlds are still as awe-inspiring to explore as ever, and modern technology makes that exploration regularly over-awing for how good all of this looks. The aesthetic and tone of the original films is perfectly captured here, which is one essential part of the overall equation in a good video game adaptation.
I was like, oh my god.
The other part is how well all of this plays, and I think opinion on that is going to be a lot more divided, but for me, I think it's just as much of a home run as the rest of the package. The most surprising thing about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is that it manages to show us parts of Indiana Jones that we've never seen before. The parts where he isn't dangling from the end of a whip, or hightailing it out of a freshly looted tomb, or wooing some fiery damsel du jour. The Great Circle shows us what happens between all of that other, more exciting stuff. At first, I was like, oh no, this is a bad idea. Like, Indiana Jones shouldn't exist outside of these moments. I don't want to see this man doing his taxes or shuffling around his place of business. That's taking a myth and making it real, and that always sucks. and I continued to feel that way after I settled into the game's first hub, the Vatican. So the way this works is that this is a game that'll run you around 10 to 12 hours depending on how much side content you do, and all of that side content exists in one of 3 hubs you'll visit: the Vatican, Giza, and Siam, now known as Thailand. These hubs are all very densely packed with a mix of side quests, puzzles, collectibles, and restricted areas that each house a cheeky bit of currency or an upgrade book. What's important to understand is that all of it, every single bit of side content, is entirely optional. You don't have to do any of
And we're doing it all.
it, and that's why a beeline playthrough of this game is like 9 hours long, whereas a fairly thorough playthrough will run you 20 hours plus. So like I
Oh, goody goody. Yeah, because that's what I want to do. I want to do all the side quests. I want to do all the side missions.
said, I'm at the Vatican, I've been given a priest disguise that lets me move around freely, and I'm picking up documents that are kicking off side quests, and I'm thinking to myself, I just don't know about this. Where's the urgency that is one of the hallmarks of the Indiana Jones vibe? That urgency never comes in these spaces, but what does come is an acceptance of the idea that there is actually more to Indiana Jones than just his breathless escapades. I didn't think I would like the experience of just hanging out in a space, exploring things at my own pace, chatting with people, reading shit I picked up off the floor, but the truth is, I did, because all of it was in service to the main plot, rather than feeling like traditional side content as we might typically refer to it. The best example of this are the side quests you do. So again, calling them side quests is a bit of a misnomer, because they're all folding into the broader game plot, illuminating an auxiliary aspect of the broader mystery. I would go as far as to say that if you don't do them, you're not going to get the full context of what's going on in that main plot. And while you can certainly complete it without doing that side content, each new reveal feels so much more revelatory and satisfying when you've got that added color around it. This content is also full of unique character moments and interactions that are on the same level as
Oh, the music, Water, is fantastic. I know John Williams didn't do it, but obviously I think they used bits and pieces of John Williams. But the music is fantastic. The little inklings of the undertones and stuff when you're doing it, and it builds up for the suspense. It's fantastic.
moments in the main storyline, and it often sends you to intricately
And the sound design's awesome as well.
detailed locations you would have never visited had you not committed to these optional objectives. So yeah, it is kind of weird strolling about the Vatican hoping to find something to do, but when you find it, it's always extremely worthwhile.
Yep.
And honestly, I think that Machine Games' approach to side content here is a straight up case study that I hope other games will pick up and run with. But what are you doing when it's time to drop the disguise, put on the fedora, and head out into the field? Well, there's a lot of tomb raiding, but to be honest, I actually think these are some of the low points for the game. There are ledges to be mantled over, conveniently placed grapple points that are perfect for a whip to latch onto, there's walls to be shimmied against and gaps to jump over. The thing is, Indy's movement is deliberately very slow because it's trying to be realistic, and so many of these sequences can feel a little drawn out as a result, especially if you happen to miss a jump and have to redo a section. There are puzzles, but these aren't really anything to write home about. Again, they're authentic to the franchise, but they're very simple, and you've either done them before in a different game or you've done some variation of them. I think the bigger issue with these tombs is that they all feel very similar in that they don't reach for much.
John Williams
They're
dead?
workmanlike
No, John
rather
Williams
than
is alive.
memorable. The one exception to this is this tomb, which really goes
He's
all
retired
in on
now.
the visual design and the danger and the puzzle stuff. It's some real Temple of Doom shit right here, and its audaciousness stands out against the broader tomb level design, which can often feel quite restrained or safe. The real brilliance of the Great Circle's gameplay, though, lies in its level design powered stealth and its lightweight but reactive combat sandbox. You've probably heard already that the Great Circle is an immersive sim light. But what does that actually mean? Well, immersive sims are games that are really focused on giving you multiple ways to complete an objective,
Just hit him
making
in the
great
nuts.
use of your
Nut checked
environment
him.
while doing it. When you really settle into the core loop of the Great Circle, you immediately see how much of that description applies here. The core of it is actually level design. Every Nazi or fascist camp, every factory or office building or outpost or whatever, they all have so many points of entry that the start of every encounter is, which way do I go in? And you'll keep asking that question as you make your way further and further in, because the entire level is built to give you so many options. And it also feels so handcrafted and curated too. Like there are a dozen instances where I could see the level layout and I could see the options available to me, but I could also see where Machine Games wanted me to go. They definitely mark out a golden path through most of these spaces, and that's not a criticism, mind you, because spotting that path and then making use of the cover properly and timing the enemy patrols just right it feels very skillful, and you do feel like Indiana Jones, you really do. This isn't meant to be a very challenging stealth puzzle experience requiring a lot of creative puzzle solving. It's meant to be a power fantasy, and the level design subtly but deliberately guiding you towards that fantasy is a feature, not a bug. Much the same can be said of the game's stealth. I've definitely seen plenty of criticism about how dumb the AI is, how inconsistent their vision cones are, how goofy their behavior can be, and it's all true, 100%. I've got plenty of my own footage where I'm looking at something going down and I'm thinking, that is pretty silly. But I come back to what I said, which is that I'm not playing Indiana Jones for, you know, a really challenging, sophisticated stealth sandbox. Like, I just want to be able to sneak past some Nazis, punch a bunch of them when I fuck up.
You want to be Indiana Jones. You want to be Indiana Jones from the films.
And let the good times keep rolling. Tuned as it is, it works. So I think that Machine Games dialed it in here correctly. But of course, you will get spotted often, and then it's time to throw down. It's a mix of bare-knuckle boxing, which is simple, but really well-tuned given the limits the stamina bar imposes. You can pick up melee weapons to give yourself a big advantage, and so combat is regularly about breaking weapons and then frantically looking around on the ground to pick up something else. Where combat is at its absolute best, though, is when guns get involved. And what makes the combat loop so great here is that ammo is extremely limited for whatever gun you happen to pick up. And so you find yourself not only moving to avoid enemy haymakers and gunfire, and not only trying to quickly land your own shots, but also being forced out into the open to pick up a new gun when your old one runs dry. This creates an extremely fluid, almost cinematic combat rhythm, because you can't just hunker down behind cover like you can in basically any other game with guns. And mind you, you might go from like a shovel to a shotgun to a broom handle and then to a rifle, all within the span of
I was smashing guitars over people's heads and hammers and shovels and brooms and sticks and
30 seconds. And that's just fucking cool, man. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, what other game is asking you to do that? If I had one big complaint about the Great Circle, it's that this combat rhythm wasn't invited enough. Like, you can do this almost any time you like, but most of us, myself included, are just going to default to a more stealthy approach. I think it would have been great if Machine Games had forced this type of rhythm more, because it is sick. It is...
I disagree there. I disagree. I choose if I want to engage the people or not. I don't want to be forced to engage. So I like the fact that you can do it if you want, and if you don't. Last night, again, Nate's like, you don't have to do that. You can sneak around. And I went, oh, Nate. I was like, I'll play the game how I want to play, and you play the game how you want to play. I don't want Machine Games or anybody. When you make an open world game like this, I want to choose. Be like, you know what? This time I'm going to go stealth. Next time go loud. I'm going to use my gun. I'm going to use a broomstick. I'm going to use a bottle. Whatever it is, I want to choose how I want to play the game. As slow, as methodical as possible, or loud and obnoxious as possible.
Unique in that no other game has done it in quite the same way, and it's perfect for Indiana Jones, a man who in every moment has to be scrappy and adaptive because he's just one man against a literal army. At its core, Indiana Jones is about the sort of adventure that was never truly possible but imagined freely in a bygone era. French comics like Tintin, spaghetti westerns, space operas like Flash Gordon.
I would love a Flash Gordon game. Can we get a Flash Gordon game? Can we put that out there? I want a Flash Gordon game. Like Indiana Jones, but Flash Gordon. Like, let's do it. Put it out there.
It was a time before the internet and before Google Maps where you could rightly imagine a temple buried deep within some rainforest that only a native tribe had laid eyes on. For cinema, it was a golden age of big-name directors laying down the template for what a summer blockbuster could be, making it all with practical effects, on location or on real sets because CG hadn't arrived yet. It was an era of genuine movie stars, people who could put butts in seats without having to put on a cape or carry a big magic hammer. Indiana Jones is, ironically enough, a relic of the past. One that probably, by all rights, should have stayed buried. But then along comes Machine Games, carrying a whole new adventure in the crook of their arm, and slamming it down on the table before us as they did. They reminded us what it was like to be back in those uncomfortable cinema seats we had to sit in back in the 90s. They made us imagine, if only for a moment, that there were still yet great secrets to uncover, and by letting us step into the shoes of Indy himself, they let us imagine that we might dare to be the ones uncovering them. For those who have always loved Indiana Jones, the appeal of that is obvious, but for those who haven't yet fallen in love with it, The Great Circle is the best Indiana Jones thing since the original 3 movies, which, as we all know, are the only 3 Indiana Jones movies ever made. The Great Circle is an all-timer, and much like those cinematic masterpieces, I expect it will age remarkably well, But don't wait for that. Play it now. It's on PC, it's on Game Pass, it's on PS5 sometime next year. This is the sort of game that you should go out of your way to play because every part of it just sings and pops and cracks like Indy's whip. This is a brilliant video game and I strongly recommend it to you.
Yeah, we're 5 hours in and I'm absolutely loving it.
Always extremely proud to partner with this video sponsor, Gigabyte Aura.
All right, go check out SkillUp's channel. Give it a like. Yeah, I'm having a blast playing Indiana Jones. It's so good. The moment to moment type of thing of like when you figure out a puzzle or when you find a secret passage or it's all good. It feels great. I would love, God, they could make a game like this. Obviously, I don't want every game like this, but if they made a Goonies game, but like Indiana Jones, you're on an adventure, but you're finding like hidden treasure and stuff like that, that'd be cool, right? But I can see this. This is going to be a big success, and I would love a sequel to this. I would love a sequel to the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle because they could. This character, you can just keep making games if they're great. Machine Games, though, I would love to see if they make a sequel. I'm not even done with this game yet. Fantastic. Artemis says, I've been playing Indiana Jones. I can say getting spotted by an enemy and you have 5 or 6 dudes chases. Fists don't work. That's not true. Last night, we took out about 10 guys, and then we died. Right? Put my back up against the corner, and I was just slugging it out. It was actually pretty fun. But yeah, they overwhelm you. I was seeing how long I could last for. A lot more guns than I thought. We could shoot our gun. I just didn't want to shoot a gun because then people would hear where I am, right? So I was beating people's asses with shovels and batons and guitars and umbrellas. Play it now, meaning don't wait for a port. Yeah, it's great. I'm really enjoying the 5. We're going to be playing more tonight. So, Waterbear says, Flash. He's going to save every one of us. That's a fantastic. I would love Flash Gordon. Come on. That'd be fantastic. Magic says, Machine Games hates Nazis. This is like their 8th Nazi killing game. I mean, is that a bad thing? Everyone should hate Nazis. They're Nazis. Exactly, Eclipse. Don't we all hate them? Exactly right. It's like it's a fantastic game. It's just fun. We were taking all the guys and put them in fountains. I put them behind barrels. Put them in chairs. We sat one guy in a chair and he busted the chair. You could pick up anything, right? I love picking up things and finding puzzles though. The puzzles and the secret entrances and all the different things. I'm playing on the medium. Maybe I should go up to hard. But it doesn't help you. Well, the puzzle solving, I'm doing the hard part one. But the gameplay, I'm on medium, right? I'm liking it, man. I'm really enjoying it a lot. Argus says, Roadkill, go say that in Lono's stream and come back and tell me what the rest of the chat response. I think that place where you do the confession, I think that's going to be a secret compartment or something. It just stands out. Just stands out. All right, what's happening with Cyberpunk? Oh, you know what? This actually gives me hope for the Captain America 1943 game, the Marvel 1943. If that game comes out, even though it's not comic booky, but if that game comes out and it's sort of like what Indiana Jones is, what I mean by that is like it really feels like it's set in that world, I think it could be really cool, right? I think it could be really cool. I don't need a, 40, 50-hour game. If it's like a 15 to 20-hour game and it's done like this, it'd be fantastic. Have you seen Tenacious D do Flash Gordon theme? I have not. Could even do an A-Team game. I mean, as a 46-year-old man, I'm cool with any of that stuff if they do it well. Right? Give me an Airwolf. Give me a Flash Gordon. You know what I mean? No, it's a Captain America, Black Panther. There's a Black Panther game, heck, but there's a Captain America, Black Panther. It's called Marvel 1943 is what it's called. That's Captain America and Black Panther in the game. Then there's a standalone Black Panther game. Then there's an Iron Man game. And then there's a Wonder Woman game. And I forget what else. We got Wolverine. Who set it up above? You said that the contention months ago, Dolphin said this, months ago, was a game of the year running. Here's the unfortunate part, okay? Because this game comes out so far in the end of this year, it takes place for next year's awards. People are going to forget about this game. And I think Indiana Jones could possibly run for game of the year. Hopefully next year it gets nominated. So far, my 5 hours, it's amazing. I love it. I'm worried on that 1943's performance since it's Unreal Engine 5. Potentially. I mean, not potentially Unreal Engine 5. What I'm saying is performance issues, potentially. All right, let's see what's going on here. Yeah, we're low on news. I mean, there's news stories, but not a lot going on because not a lot's being said. We have Beyond Good and Evil stuff that we could I don't want to talk about it all today because if it's so slow that not a lot of good stuff is coming out. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, Sith Lords, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb, Lego Pirates of the Caribbean video game, and more. Humble Bundle has a sale going on right now. Warhammer 40K live action series is officially in development at Prime Video with Henry Cavill. Man, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League skins look terrible. They look terrible. Lots of people are playing solo right now for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Yeah, we'll see what happens with 40K. Hasbro and stuff, or Wizards of the Coast, right? Wizards of the Coast. Is Wizards of the Coast owned by Hasbro? I think they are, right? All right, let me put the music back on. Sorry. At least Deathstroke looks good. Not his skins. I mean, we'll probably put it back on the machine maybe in January. I'm really not interested. Like, look at this. This looks awful. This looks awful. Like, this would be a thing that you get for free. You got to pay for that? Crosshair will also be significant, and there's also a possibility for lag. This issue has been resolved. Changing where the highlights were saved would cause the game to crash. The issue has been resolved. Players joining a quick match and replacement may not be able to see heroes equipped costumes. This issue has been resolved. Mission progress of a season event screen would not display correctly. The issue has been resolved. Fix some textual errors. More fixes will be coming in the future update. After a crash, the game had a chance to freeze in a long period of time before closing. Maps in game mode on certain maps, particularly Hydra. Let's see. Special collision of the edges would also cause players' character to become stuck and clipped through the enter strange areas. These issues also have been largely resolved. This is affect multiple maps and areas. The bug may be present elsewhere. In a foggy area in the Wakanda. Okay, the fog will disappear from the storm's perspective and activate ultimates. This issue has been resolved. After Jeff the Land Shark has revived while in a fog, his teammates and enemies would not be able to see special effects. Joyful Splash. This issue has been resolved. Competitive. If a player of knockout while moving near a target area, it would also cause the lightings to behave abnormally. During matches, disconnecting and reconnecting could cause desynchronization for some doors, i.e. a door locked be closed, but also players could walk through. The door looked to be open. Okay, these are just visual errors. When target area is ascending and descending, Loki or Thor received Hela's team-up ability. It would potentially revive and be stuck beneath the terrain. Resolved. When the target area is ascending or descending, a Jeff the Land Shark ultimate Devour character is also potentially becoming stuck beneath the terrain. When the target area is ascending or descending, the Winter Soldier enemy with the hit with the ultimate they landed right on the target area platform damage may be lost. This issue has been resolved. When switching between rounds of competitive and destination, it was also the last stage of the map. It also caused the vehicle's effect range not to display when it approached the destination, impacting termination of the effect at occupied range. Upon reaching a third round competitive convoy, heroes had a chance to carry over the ultimate energy from a second round. This issue has been resolved. Heroes. When Wolverine had his Deadpool Wolverine costume equipped, the ability voice lines were also underlining animal abilities line would play. This issue has been resolved. After Star-Lord's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 MVP animation played, sound effects would not be played. When Iron Fist uses pings, corresponding voice lines. These are all just like minimal fixes of stuff. PC using FSR, 3 frames generation technology, modify resolution, could also memory leaks, resulting in blurry models. Console, after equipping a PlayStation Bundle Scarlet Spider costume, restarting the game would cause the costume to not display correctly. That's it. There's no fixes or anything like that as far as these are just fundamental fixes for voice lines, visual glitches, and whatnot. Wait, they're taking away supers carrying over? I thought that was intended. From one match to the next? No. You should get your super twice during a match. Too bad we can't say it for the Path of Exile 2. What's happening with Path of Exile 2? Oh, the new Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Is that the... Oh, no, that's a different game. Is it the side... Is that the 8-bit side-scroller? The one like Teenage Mutant Turtles? They got a patch too? Changes are coming to action role-playing game Path of Exile 2, thick and fast following a huge early access launch with the hotfix out now. Post-patch on the forums. So I haven't played the game, so I don't... All right, so they're making dodge roll changes for Path of Exile 2. A lot of players have experienced frustration about being trapped in by monsters, while the intended monsters were able to trap them, kill you. So there's a dodge roll changes. They got checkpoint changes. A lot of players have been reporting that have been also tedious. Need to retread areas of the map in order to get back to objectives they already found. We'll be deploying a following changes to upcoming patches. Clicking on the checkpoint will allow you to teleport to other checkpoints and other explored on your minimap. Checkpoints also have been added to the entrance and exits of the zones, allowing teleportation. The checkpoint also has been added to midpoint in the first Dreadnoughts area. Item changes. One of the major problems with the players have been experiences feeling that the game is not rewarding enough. This is an area that they also have not been very careful with or careful when adjusting because it's very hard to reduce the drops if we increase them by too much. We've identified a few key areas of that we believe significant improvements experience what players are having. Rare monster changes. We felt that the rare monsters were not rewarding enough. This didn't affect the campaign as much as because it was more unique bosses, increasing the overall amount of drops, but especially a noticeable one when playing the end game. Unique monsters are less common. Currency changes. We felt that the players were also not getting enough certain currency either in the early game or sustain adding mods to maps. We've deployed the following changes. Orb drop rate increases around 40%. Disenchanting of 6 mod rares to give 2 regal shards instead of 1. Lesser jewelers orbs drop rates increase from around 33%. Reduce the drop rate of chaos orbs slightly as they have less value. Gem cutters premise drop rate increased by 500%. Gem cutters prims now increase quality of gems by 5% instead of 1%. We got map mod changes. Okay, with the rares, we felt that the players were not being rewarded enough to the difficulty that were also being added to the map mods. We have significantly increased the value of all prefix map mods. We have changed all the map prefix mods, but some example changes were also deployed. Our rarity mods have been increased by 2.5%. Quality mods have also been extra rarity added to them. They removed the bottom tier of some mods, and you are much more likely to roll modifiers that affect drops or pack sizes rather than less useful mods. In addition, it's also been identified as some area of not being affected by the increased number of monster packs. Mods, they also should be. We're fixing these maps to work correctly in the later patch. Unlucky drop protection. One of the major issues we've identified as the outlier, unlucky drops, a single unique boss dropping badly, especially early on, can significantly affect your character. We've deployed the following changes. No more than 50% of unique monsters drop can be gold. Act bosses and map bosses will also drop at least 1 rare. Click to move. There's also an issue where the move only command was name locking. This could also result in the characters confusing attacking in unexpected directions while holding down the action. Endgame maps. The concern for players' endgame maps is accidentally missing rare monsters. In addition, many maps did not have the number of rare monsters that they should have. This will also be making the following changes in the upcoming patch. Rare monsters now appear on the minimap when there are 200 monsters remaining instead of 50. Many maps have additional rare monsters added to them, making sure the minimum number is in every map type. In conclusion, we also are posting the patch notes of these changes when they deploy. For all the full list of what we've been deployed, check in the patch notes here. Okay, is this different than... Okay. There you go. I haven't played any, so I can't complain or not complain. I'm just reading the patch notes. So if you guys understand what the changes are, there you go. Water Bear says, well, the ability to dodge roll should have been updated. This is why you can actually do it, right? No, the beat them up one I think is just called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Okay. So it's not the same. It's not the same one. Jason says Wukong is getting an update this week. I want to play Path of Exile 2, but I'm playing Marvel Rivals, and then now I'm playing Indiana Jones for the next 15 hours. Well, that's not what I'm saying. I could complain. Heck, like, for instance, I haven't played Dauntless in, like, I don't know, a year and a half, but they made some changes to Dauntless, and I haven't played the new update, but I'm pissed off that they changed stuff and they got rid of my weapons and stuff. So I can complain about that because I did play it in the past. I haven't played Path of Exile 2 at all. If I watched people play and saw some shit going on, I can complain along with them because it fundamentally, if it's bad, it's bad. But I can't say anything because I haven't really watched a lot of people play. I don't know much about the game at all, besides the interviews and stuff that we saw. So Dustin says, I'm going back to play Dauntless. You only had 5 hours in it, you said. Total. I had like 350. I had like 350 hours. And they took all my weapons away from me. And in return, they gave me 500 weapon points, whatever the fuck they have now. Henry Heck says, towards your Path of Exile 2 fund, $10. Thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that, Heck. Cyberpunk patch notes are live if you want to read them as well. What are they doing? That's another game I haven't even played. Is it update 2.2? Is that what it is? I can't find those. Are they updated? Like, are they up? Well, I still think it could be a game of the generation. I just think it's... I think they burned a bridge, or at least with me. Heck, like... I never gave Cyberpunk 2077, the game itself, shit. I gave CD Projekt Red shit about what they did with Cyberpunk 2077, right? Like, I own it. It was gifted to me by one of my mods, right? And I've just never turned it on. Everyone says it's fantastic. The problem is that I just never went back to play it because when it came out, it was broke, you know? And I hope games learn their lesson. Where their next game comes out, it doesn't come out like that. Robert Jones says, 30, have you seen the knockoff fighting game with all your favorite 80s characters? No, what's it called? What's it called? You sent it to me in... The Cyberpunk one? Oh, General. Okay. So they put a bunch of vehicles in, new features. With this patch, you'll be able to express yourself like never before. Includes over 100 new customization options. V adds crystal coat, compatible for select vehicles and brands, introducing a brand new twin tone color scheme. So this is just for like cars and stuff like that. Design refers vehicles only now adopt. So that you could customize your vehicle. We overhauled photo mode to add multiple community request features. I mean, is this... I'll be honest, I don't give a shit about this stuff. Photo mode. Okay. Added more character customization. Okay. Quest and open world. Rephrase objectives to requests that tell you wait a specific amount of time to progress the game design in a way it doesn't allow players to simply skip in-game time to advance the objectives. Okay. The bodies also hit the floor. Fixed an issue where no shard could be found. Dream On, the trauma team AV, and the roof will now be properly hidden in stealth mode. Heroes fixed an issue where they also the quest, despite being completed, but could remain marked incomplete. Phantom Liberty is specific. Balls to the wall fixed an issue where it's impossible. So these are just like fixes, nothing like added to the game. These are just fixes. Run town, elevator, okay, gameplay, fix one of the katana finisher animations, miscellaneous, PC specifics. I'm good. I'm good. So, customization for cars. Cool. Imagine if it was in the game at launch. And that's not just shitting on Cyberpunk 2077. That's shitting on every game that make a game, sell a game. All the stuff that you wanted to put in the game day one should have been there day one. And just stop with the live service stuff or non-live service or continuous support, whatever. Just the cars, though, is awesome because you can also just scan, paint a job, and take it to use of your car. I think that's cool. I mean, yeah, great. I just think it's funny that, like, here's the thing. Let's say I did play Cyberpunk, right? It's a single-player game, right? And it's been out for 3 years. So, okay, I beat the game. Is this going to bring me back so I can customize my car? Me, personally, it's not. I haven't done any rank stuff. Like I said, I've been jumping in and doing my my dailies and stuff, mission wise. I think I did one more mission or one more competitive match yesterday, and we lost. So I'm back down like another 27 points. So I'm still in bronze. I even said when Marvel Rivals, when they first showed it back in what, March, May, what was it? March. It was March when they first showed it. I said if they have, I said I'm not big in the PvP. I said if they put in a bot mode, I'll play it because I'm just more of a casual player, right? I play the quick matches. I'm playing the against the NPCs. I'm playing against quick matches, but I really don't care about the competitive stuff. I'm trying to get to. I would like to get the cosmetic for Moon Knight to get to silver, but if I don't get it, I'm okay with it. Bronze is Dookie 30. Prepare for pain. I was interested in playing Cyberpunk, but after watching initial reviews, I held off. That's exactly how I was. Dolphin says, Chris Evans returns to Marvel's Doomsday in Marvel's MCU. I mean, that seems pretty desperate, doesn't it? Sarge says, Path of Exile 2, let the crying begin. It's too hard. Yeah, I don't have a group I play with, heck. Me getting into competitive stuff is like I might as well just put my arm on the door and start smashing it. It just doesn't feel good. Yesterday. Here, hold on a second. During I forget if it was against the NPCs or not. I think I played 4 games. I completed all the weekly and daily stuff for 2 matches. You could buy a new arm in microtransactions. Yeah, that'll be the future. Let me turn on Rivals real fast. When's reset at midnight? Is that what it is? Or is it like in the middle of the morning? All right, let's go to stats. History. Yeah, my competitive that I've played 4 matches. I won 3, lost 1 yesterday. Right? That was, yeah. I went 15-9, 8-14, 13-9, and 10-16. Wasn't very good. Who was I yesterday? Yesterday was I was Psylocke. I got MVP with Soldier, 25-5. And I got Hawkeye. I was MVP, 20-1. I have not checked out Maximum Football. Altern says, "Don't do it 30. Last time I turned on Rivals real fast. Ended up playing for like an hour. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play for an hour probably this afternoon. That should make you at least gold for what? Is rank just win or lose, or does it include stats as well? No, I think it's just wins and losses. Because when you here, let me put it back. Yeah, I'm bronze 3. Yeah, so my first one I won. Okay, bronze 3 was plus 28. Then I lost the next one, which is minus 27. Okay, then I won the next one, which is plus 31. Okay, so now I'm plus 4, right? Because I had plus 28. Then I lost 27, so I'm plus 1, right? And then so I'm plus 32, right? So now I'm 32. Okay, and then plus 19. So 32, 40, we're at 50 points, plus 50. You need 100 points to go up a level, I believe. Because you have to get 100 for every, if I'm not mistaken, each class, each rank of bronze is like 0 to 100, if I'm not mistaken. Right? So you gotta get to 100, and then you go up to the next bracket. But if you lose, then you go under. But I don't know if you go up. Once you hit that next one, you can't drop down until you hit like platinum. Platinum, you'll drop back down or whatnot. Oh, I did a Luna Snow yesterday because nobody wanted to Luna Snow. I was 26-0. I think it was 21. Oh no, it's 22-4. I just boop, 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 boop. I was practicing with the practice. Everyone starts at bronze, yeah. Did you know you could pretty much take almost everyone's ultimate with cap? Almost everyone. Obviously, there's a couple like ults that you can't protect against, but you can put your shield up and impact full thing, even the chaos magic. Right? If you have your shield up with Scarlet Witch, you won't get destroyed, but you'll almost die. Then you get one tap, you're dead. But you can block pretty much all ults. I'm still putting up some of my first playthroughs of characters on stream. We'll upload those like throughout the week. I wasn't an Overwatch guy, so this shit's overwhelming for me. I mean, I really like it. I just like playing against the NPCs and stuff. Multiverse just had an update as well. I will play this more just because it's Marvel IP. Just because of the IP, I'll play it more. All right, let's look at Twitter real fast, see if anything's happened on Twitter. Star Wars, the night... not Knights of the Republic. Star Wars, the Old Republic had an update today. Lots of updates, man. Lots of updates today. Soul Reaver 1 and 2 Remaster Legacy of Kain is out today for $25.49. But that's on PC. I saw the story that Steam might come out with a box. That came out yesterday. Cyberpunk live stream? That already happened, didn't it? Or it's happening now? Stream Machines round 2. I think round 2 would be better this time around, Jones, for them if they did it. I think it would be better. I think if they came out with a console now because now they're getting like Xbox games and PlayStation games, it would do a much better job this time around than their last one. If you could get a Steam machine, whatever it is, and it was priced around the same, it did the exact same as like the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X, and you could play all 3 consoles on one console, PlayStation and Xbox would be they would have problems with competing in the console market because everyone would just buy that machine and it does everything. Here's some review scores for Indiana Jones. Where's all the articles? Where's all the articles? The Steam box would need to deal with the EULAs and stuff. 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10, 9 out of 10, 5 out of 5, 9 out of 10, 9 out of 10. Maybe you can convince your console only buddies to come over to the master race. Perhaps. I mean, it all depends on what the what it offers, what their next Steam box would offer. What's my score after 5 hours? I don't have a score yet, but I'm loving it. You can go watch my my broadcast last night for 5 hours where I'm absolutely having a blast with the game. Yeah, nothing else really going on here. GameSpot's countdown to the Game Awards. 4 days. Is it 4 days? 3 days. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Today's Tuesday, isn't it? Company says the game's EULA is made for specific platforms, and the Steam would need to ask every dev to update their EULA to allow their game to be on their box. Right? If it's just I don't think they would have to do that if it's a standalone box where you're putting discs and stuff in, sure. But because it's a streaming box, if it is a streaming box, I don't think they would, because it would just mimic what the Steam Deck does right now. The Steam Deck just takes your library and puts it on the Steam Deck. Be the exact same. Did they have to do that with the Steam Deck? Did they have to take all the EULAs and everything and put it on the Steam Deck? No, the Steam Deck just takes what's in your library and you can play on it. Am I wrong on that? Club says, I'll say one thing. I've noticed that this has put music on the Suicide Squad, and I'm not hating it. Makes the grind a little easier. Are you jumping back in to get the Deathstroke? Well, the Steam Verified, Krebsy, only means that it's verified for Steam Deck, where it's a sort of like a port that runs specifically for the Steam Deck, but you can play other games on the Steam Deck. It's just not Steam Deck verified. Like Clip says, as long as you don't have to use a different launcher, you can use it on Steam Deck. Yeah. Steam Deck verified just means it's like a port for Steam Deck. Exactly, Jones. The verify means it would just run well on Steam Deck. That's it. Yeah, they wouldn't have to do anything. At least that I know of. If they made a box that did exactly what the Steam Deck did, but now it's in your house instead of on your television set instead of a thing, then game, set, match, right? If everything's moving to the cloud and to online and whatnot, that's all you have to do. You take an internet cable, you plug it into the back of your why is my camera flickering like that? If you just take the cord and plug it in to your Steam Deck box, then that would be your PC. You're just playing Steam. You're just playing Steam games on there. I didn't look too much into it, Water. I don't know if it's a standalone box, like you're going to be putting, like, it would have to you're not rebuying the ding. They're not gonna have a disc, right? It's gonna be just a Steam operating system on a box. Now I don't know if the box is just a box or if it's processing the stuff inside the box itself. You know what I mean? I mean, we don't know anything about it because it's all hearsay right now. All right, it's 12:30. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for some more Indiana Jones Part 2. If you guys want to watch that, come on by 8 p.m. tonight for some more Indiana Jones. If not, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning for more gaming news. And don't forget, Thursday night, Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. That's not a normal show this week. This week it's the Video Game Awards show. We'll be covering here live with guest Kingard and also Greg Owen and Sarge will all be on the show on Thursday night. So if you like that, come on by, hang out with us as we watch the Game Awards. So you guys have a great rest of your day, afternoon, and evening, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.